Hey guys, what up? It's your boy Con TDK, Mr. So Real. It's been a hot minute since I done put my ugly mug on one of these videos, and I ain't wearing no hat today. I shaved my head, so I'm looking clean. Now, I'm sure that by the title of this video, you guys are probably saying, Con is out of his damn mind. He must be tripping. Talking about don't nerf the SEEKR. So if you don't know what the SEEKR is, it's a new gear set that they've introduced in 1.6. And it has some pretty interesting and devastatingly suspicious numbers. And some of the things that go along with the gear set. Yeah. Yeah. So originally when I found out some of the particulars about it, because I don't have the PTS, I'm a PlayStation 4 player. I saw a video made by Eric's, and shout outs to Eric's. I usually don't shout out larger YouTubers, but shout outs to him for putting up a video so fast. And this is kind of why I stopped covering a lot of the news for the division. A lot of that stuff gets released when I'm sleeping in Japan. And then when I get up, I find out people have blog posts and videos up, and then I have to go to work. So by the time I come back home, which is like around now, by the time you're seeing this, all of that information is out and it's old. So when I saw his video, in the middle of it, like I had to stop it. I could not watch any more of it. I just thought everything about the set was broken, busted, stupid. And to be honest, a few people asked me to cover the changes that are in 1.6, and they said they really wanted to hear my thoughts and opinions. And I have not recorded the gear sets and the exotic weapons yet. I have the script for it. This is one page from the script, and on this page is just a brief section that I wrote on the SEEKR, and I wrote all of this before all of the particulars and details of the sets and the new exotics were even out. This is way back over the weekend, so when everybody was still in the dark and kind of speculating and they saw a couple things. I wrote this like a long time ago, but I have a job and I have other games that I like to cover, and I'm trying to make things so that they make sense. But what I said was, and this is before I knew anything about all of this, what I said was about SEEKR, a new gear set, SEEKR, is being introduced. After 2 shots in a row to the body, you get a critical. This sounds really stupid, and I don't understand how this is a good idea. You don't want to try aiming for the head? Use SEEKR. Your aim just straight up sucks. Use SEEKR. And they spelled SEEKR wrong. You know, what's that about? Originally, the way that I felt about SEEKR was that it was pretty silly that they wanted you to aim for the body instead of being skillful and aim for the head. Like, it didn't make sense that they would want you to do that and that you would get a guaranteed critical off of landing 2 shots to the body, and you get a critical on your 3rd shot. So it's not like with Centuries, you had to land 3 headshots, and then your 4th shot would give you the maximum amount of damage. And then after, every shot after that the 3 shots that you landed, you got all of that damage, but there was a timer. It cooled down and it went away, and then you had to hit those 3 shots again. But with this, you're aiming for the body, and you can aim anywhere on the body. Anywhere. You can aim for the legs, you aim for the baby toe, you could aim for the knuckles, you could aim for the shoulder, you can aim for that stiff neck. You could, getting on to the point, and maybe probably why you're looking at this video going, well, if you don't like it, and if you seem like you're against it, why are you saying don't change it, don't nerf it? What is that about? As I was saying some things on Twitter, people like Junior asked me, or basically said, like, maybe they're listening to you. and it kind of hit me. Maybe the SEEKR is not that bad. Maybe the SEEKR is a good idea. And I know probably most of you are scratching your head going, well, what the hell are you talking about, man? You going one way and you going another. You pulling a Trump. You saying one thing, you doing something else, and then you going back and forth. So here's the thing. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that I've always wanted this game to be more skill-based, more tactical, and I wanted it to be more about controlling the zones, controlling area, making sure people can't come in and push you out, making sure that you can control space. With this low ceiling of skill to do high damage, it seems like, and it works with every weapon, the SEEKR. Every weapon. So, with that in mind, you could technically do a lot of damage for anybody who tries to run up on you. And you could control that space. And the way that I look at it is, don't nerf or change or get rid of the idea of SEEKR, even though it is, you know, by the numbers, it sounds really ridiculous. But don't necessarily get rid of that. Just introduce more powerful gear sets. If you're going to make the gear sets powerful, make them all ridiculously powerful or have something really cool about it. Now, for some of you who like the real OGs who've been hanging around the channel, you know that I've had this little baby, and I don't know if you can read this, for a long time. This is Khan's The Division rework, and this has been sitting in my room for like the longest time, and I've wanted to present this, and this is like pages of stuff. This is seriously, I've sat and thought about how to rework this game, and I have pages and pages of ideas. And what I'm saying is, and this is me looking at SEEKR, looking at the possibility of having it be a really zone control set, and then saying, okay, let's look at some of the sets that are getting changed in 1.6 and let's buff them. Let's really buff them and make them unique, make them special, make them hit hard, make them do something, make them really be part of a gameplay style, and make them cool. So the first thing I could think about was the defense set, you know, the one with the shield. Why not have that thing ricochet bullets? You pull that thing out, somebody starts shooting at you, all their bullets come back at them. What do you think about that? And then the only way that they could get around it is if they aimed for a part of the body that's exposed, like the feet, the legs, maybe throw a grenade, do something to knock you off your balance. You get blown up by a grenade, you drop the shield, then you open and you take damage. What about that? Does that sound like a good idea? Them dudes using SEEKR, running for all those body shots, you could push up on them if you had that shield, and the rest of your team could be right behind you, pushing up with you, blocking all them bullets, and then you go in. One idea. I've got tons of ideas. Reclaimer. So Reclaimer has been changed. So my idea, since we're going off of crazy, we reworking everything. Reclaimer, as it stands right now with the new change in 1.6, and if you don't know what's going on with Reclaimer, it's more health box and kind of healer oriented play style. So and what it does is now it has all of the mods for all of the heal boxes in one. So if you have the Reclaimer 4-piece set, you have everything from ammo to status effect to everything. Like everything is all put into one box. You put it down and you set. You good to go. You can do it all. Now, what I'm saying, and that's a good, that's a good set. That sounds interesting. Could be good for PvE. PvP, who knows? Depends on if that damage is really high enough that people actually want to take some cover. Never know. Maybe it could work, but if we're gonna go crazy, and let's just go crazy. In this video, we just gonna go crazy. I'm gonna just throw it all. I'm gonna throw it all out. And you tell me what sticks. What do you think works? What don't work? And with with SEEKR getting introduced, hell, why not? So my recommendation or my idea to buff Reclaimer even more is make it so that the person who puts the box down, as long as they are at 100% health, the box doesn't go away. It just stays down. Now, of course, the other team can shoot the box and take it down, and then it would be gone. But as long as the person who puts the box down stays at 100% health and they don't shoot the box, it stays there, healing the team. Why not? So you could say, from a gameplay and from a tactical standpoint, you may lose somebody who's could be shooting or pumping out, DPS or whatever. But if you have a guy that just sits in the back, hiding behind cover, he puts his box behind cover, they can't shoot it, everybody's getting heals in that area, and then it's up to the other team, if you're talking about PvP, and if it wasn't the rush roll and hip fire fest that it is now, but if it was a little bit, more team oriented and you get punished for screwing up, then that team would have to figure out a way to get in. Think about that shield guy again. He's going to come in, he's going to move into their heal zone, and then maybe somebody behind him is doing a bunch of DPS or whatever, or maybe they just make a mad dash for the healer or throw some grenades at the healer, blow up the box. Who knows? Gameplay, you tell me. What do you think? Does that work? Does that sound interesting? Does it sound different? Does it sound fun to you? You let me know. So AlphaBridge, the way that it works now is you get one extra talent. You get the 3 that's on your gun, and then you get 1 extra talent from your other gun, and you don't get all 6. So AlphaBridge, what I would say for AlphaBridge, and I've never liked AlphaBridge, to be honest with you. I never liked the idea of carrying 2 of the same weapon around. I thought that was kind of silly, but if you were going to do it, then you had to do it. So what I'm saying with AlphaBridge is, okay, let's say we only go with the 3+1. And actually, I would rather take off the 3+1. I would say you only get your 3. But what I would say is, all of the talents that you get an extra 5%, or maybe if you want to go crazy, 10% of effectiveness. So if you had, let's say, brutal, I think brutal is somewhere around, oh no, deadly. Deadly is somewhere around like 15% extra crit damage, then maybe bump it up to 20, maybe bump it up to 25. And the other kicker would be that with Reclaimer, you don't have to completely get all of the stats. So all of those, talents that were pretty good, but you didn't have the electronics for, is free. All 3 slots completely free. You can have whatever you want on it, and they would all work as long as you were running the AlphaBridge set. Extra effectiveness plus no requirements to get in. What do you think? Could work. Could give some people some room to experiment. Maybe try a gun out, see if the gun works before you dismantle it or re-roll it or whatever. Try some of those talents that nobody uses out. I'd do it. Tacticians Authority. Tacticians Authority, pretty much the way that they've changed it, I think it's not very good. They have it so that, you can keep your skill power, but as soon as you use a skill, all of it just goes. I think that's really dumb. And what I've been waiting for the longest time with Tac Authority is that you can finally, and this is what I hope, and I wrote this in my rework for the division, in some shape or form, not necessarily with gear sets. I completely threw gear sets out for my version of the game, but The idea for tacticians that I think would work really well is that you could finally hack other player or enemy skills that are thrown out. So if you throw out some kind of heal box, and this could be a direct counter to the reclaimer set, because he's going to put that heal box down. If you have a tacticians dude, he could run, I don't know, let's say it had to be within a certain radius, maybe 20 meters or 30 meters or something within that radius, then he could hack that thing to either stop working or to work in reverse. The same way that when the LMB hack your flame turret, it starts shooting back at you. So that would make people who just throw out flamethrowers, shock turrets, rolly ball, health boxes, just negate all of that. And it would just come down to gunfights at that point. And if people, try, the only way that they could counteract it to get heals would be a self-heal, or to drop a heal down and it's just that cloud. Then that would be the only way they could do it. But if they put a box down, a flame turret or something like that down, nope. The closer the guy gets to that object, the faster it's hacked. If he's really far away, it might take a little longer. You might be able to get some effectiveness out of it for a little while, but the closer he gets to it, the faster that thing is no good. What do you think? Sound good? Sound fun? Sound like a good counter to one thing that sounded OP about 2 minutes ago? That's how I think about things. If you're going to introduce something that's really strong, you need to introduce a counter. At least one, maybe even two. So I don't want this video to go on too long. I want to cut it here. But let it be known. And I want to, first of all, before we go into that, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody who has supported my channel, who have come to my channel because they wanted something different on YouTube in terms of their division content. I am not the most skilled PvP player. I never claimed to be. I'm probably not even the most skilled PvE player. I definitely can't claim to be because I haven't soloed any of those incursions. But what I am is someone who cares about the game and who has a lot of ideas that I think would really help players enjoy the game more than they currently do. Some of the changes and reworks for 1.6 really don't make any sense to me, but then again, I don't see the entire picture that they have. A lot of the blueprints and map that they have for this game are locked behind a locked door with keys and all kinds of stuff that we may never see. So a lot of things that I kind of think of and come up with hypothetically, I don't know if they work. I don't know if that's part of what their scheme is for the game. But I will say that the people who have come to this channel and really helped to keep my fire lit and encourage me to keep making these kinds of videos, that one, bring some new ideas and fresh ideas to the table. Two, make content that is good for newer players, mid-level players, and occasionally the veteran, so that they can catch up and learn something and learn how to play the game and get better at the game and ultimately enjoy it. I make my videos and my channel is more about helping people and building a community of people that want to see the game grow and not destroy it or laugh at it or make fun of people because they may not be very good or they don't have the hours to sink into the game to get the best gear sets or whatever. We're all gamers and we all deserve to have a good game and get the most out of the money that we've paid for the game and get the most out of the time that we sink into the game. So the last thing that I want to say, aside from thank you to all of you and to the people who've gotten this far to watch the video, and those of you who agree with a lot of my ideas or listen to all of this craziness, including some of the other videos where I gave ideas and suggestions. The game will change and get better and go into a route that is more fun and beneficial for everybody, the more that we as gamers come together and show these developers, these game producers, what it is that we think works and doesn't work. And by really making a stand and not going along with the program if we know for a fact it's not what we want and it doesn't work. So before you hit the dislike button or leave some nasty negative comments, just remember that everything that I've done since I started working on videos for the division has all come from a positive place and all come from the love of the game and wanting it to be the best that it could be. If you don't want that, if you just want to troll and be negative and hateful, there's no place for you here. But if you do want to see the game improve and you have some good ideas or some ideas that you think, or even rearranging or changing some of the ideas that I've suggested in this video, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know. I read them all and I try to reply to them all. So with that being said, let me hurry up and get this video out because I want to hear you guys' reaction. I don't think they should change SEEKR. I just think they should buff the hell out of and add some more stuff, some fun things to balance it out and work as a countermeasure to it. Maybe a direct counter to SEEKR could be Predator's Mark. Predator's Mark no longer stops people from running, but it slows down movement speed by 20%. Why not have it so that Predator's Mark not only slows you down by 20%, applies bleed, but make sure that you bleed doesn't stop unless you get a heal. It'd stop people from trying to shoot you in the body. It'd slow them down so that you could get into a better position with maybe more cover. And if you got that shield, it can't really do too much to you anyway. So if you have a better suggestion than that, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know. I'm gonna get this video out. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Until the next one, I'm Con TDK, Mr. So Real. I will catch you later. Enjoy everything about the division. It's gonna change soon. Peace.